Hi, this is Tracy Petrucci and Brianna Richards, and we are here to give you a quick tip on how to create a month's worth of content for your Instagram feed. So we are going to start right in and kind of go through with you some of the ways that we do it, some of the things that work for us. So one of the things we do, and you can see here on the screen, is start by thinking about the kinds of categories that you could post about. And what I have pulled up here is a real live working doc that we use for one of our clients, Cafe 21. And I always start with a concept board. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. But the more important thing for you to back up and actually think about are the categories. So here's an example. For them, they have catering and events. They have organic cocktails. To me, I wanted a whole category about that because not a lot of bars and restaurants use organic liquor and care about that, and they do. So we want an organic cocktail feature. Talk about a dinner item because they want to promote dinner. Talk about events that they're having, brunch items, kitchen shots. You sort of get the idea here that there are themes and categories. Do you have another client example you could think of?
Yeah, I think it's always really engaging when you can take a moment to educate your audience. For example, like Cafe 21 as a restaurant, maybe they want to talk about how to brine a turkey or something like that. Did you know that if you do this, you'll get these results or something like that? Ask a question, just a moment of education.
Yeah, so you can do your themes that way where you say, okay, I'm going to rotate. And this is something that I've been teaching for years, this rotation of objectives, meaning, you're going to do something that's educational, you're going to rotate in something that's curated, you're going to rotate in something that is fun, or you can sort of bypass that and just go with the category. So this is great. That's two perfect examples of different ways to sort of think about your categories. And another way to make this easy for you is to think about the month that's coming. And so there's something that you girls do too. And you can talk about that for a little bit with all the dates.
Yeah, so when you're first sitting down to plan the month, look at it on a calendar. I'm a really visual person. I like to see all of the dates, the days of the week, things like that. Look at the month ahead and figure out, are there any marketable social holidays? Every day is like national this day, that day.
Yeah, and those are relevant for some people. There's usually one. We don't overdo it.
No,
yeah,
don't overdo it.
Yeah,
or you could always, if you do Facebook as well, you could say, I'm going to market this holiday on Facebook and this one on Instagram.
Oh, that's a good tip too.
Yeah. So look at the calendar. If there's any holidays or social observances, anything like that you can piggyback off of and work into your strategy.
Yeah, and this is good because the worst thing is when you go to do a promotion for something and you realize that you were not organized and you wake up the morning of and you're like, oh my God, it's Small Business Saturday. Yeah. I didn't even think about what I was going to do. Or sometimes I go to bed at night and I'm like, oh my God, it was National Coffee Day. I love coffee. Everybody knows how much I love coffee. And I could have done something on my social media about that as a coffee lover. And so the other benefit to sort of bridging the two things of what are the categories that I know I need to cover my marketing objectives. You also look at what are the things that are coming up so that you're not stressed out kind of on an ad hoc basis, just throwing posts up left and right. It doesn't feel good. It feels much more efficient to be organized and scheduling, which also we're going to talk about in a minute. So again, all reasons why you just get a piece of paper or a document like this and start thinking about all the categories, that you want to post. And, one of the things that we do is, and you don't have to do a content rotation. If you have a bazillion categories, the content rotation idea that you can see on the screen here is a good idea because, again, it just keeps you organized. So you can say, okay, we know there's live music 7 days a week at Cafe 21. We don't want to post about it every single day, but we want to remember to remind people now and then about it. We want to talk, like we said earlier, there's all these categories. So you can decide sort of a rotation so that you know you're going through those. And then comes a really fun part. I'll let Brianna talk about it a little bit, but this is when you get to start writing out your content and planning it on a grid.
Oh, I get to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna ad hoc here this video.
Okay. No, you just love.
Okay, fine.
This is what you
Okay,
love.
I'll talk about it. And we're gonna do this video in one take, so you guys are getting the good stuff. Time is of the essence. Got a parent teacher conference coming up at 2:15.
Mompreneur.
Yeah. So this is true, and everyone on my team has to deal with it. But I really love the grid of posts that are going out for the month to look cohesive. And everyone else who knows me also knows that I don't make you do this. It's not make or break. Like, there are Instagram accounts out there that have bazillion followers that are just hideous looking. So it's not that it has to, but for a lot of our clients, the aesthetic is very important, because when you first look at an Instagram account, you're filled with a feeling. You're filled with a feeling of inspiration, or you're filled with a feeling of that it's unattractive. And that's one of the first ways that you gain followers is, does that person feel inspired when they have that high level look at your Instagram feed? So we have different ways that we do this, and there are a million tools. This one that I like, I'm gonna pull it up. Super crazy. It's just this free grid. I don't know PhotoJet. I have no affiliation with them, but I spent a ton of time researching this. And just for those of you also who know, there are planning and scheduling tools, which we also use, but I don't like the planner as much as I like this tool I'm about to show you. So what's so fun about this is you get to sort of start to plan your content. You have all your categories, what's coming up for November, what am I going to fill in here and there, and then you just can use a super free tool like this. You go to the collage tool, you scroll all the way to the bottom. You don't need this fancy premium one that has the 3 that looks like Instagram. You can go down to this one that has 4 and just only use the 3 columns and it'll look like Instagram. And actually why I like this too is you can put your extra photos over here and kind of keep swapping them out. So you just pull in a photo. It's that quick, and you pull in another photo. This is all one particular event, so obviously this is not what we would really do. But why I love this is you just drag and kind of drop these around to where you feel like you have a nice cohesive grid. And the reason that this works really well too is if you have your categories here, and you start to kind of put your live music and your dinner item and your cocktail, and you start putting them on here and they don't look good, you can just drag and drop them around. You're still gonna do all your categories. You're still reaching all your objectives. You're just moving them around. Like, you don't need this crazy rigid structure. It's just to help you cover all the things you wanna cover and make it look good on your Instagram. So be easy on yourself, like make it fluid. You can drag and drop them around here. And then, once we have it on a grid that we like, then we can use a scheduling tool.
Yeah. So Tracy, do you have any tips for when you're building a cohesive Instagram grid? Like how you should decide which photos to post next to each other?
For me, it's always just been this intuitive visual thing.
It is visual.
It is really visual.
Yeah.
I feel like you either kind of have it or you don't, or you can get there. But I'm not a fan. There's a lot of trends out there, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so I'm not going to really go into them. Mm-hmm. But I don't like the things that are overly obvious as a structure, and I don't know why. I think it's just because for us, a client could easily come in and say, oh, we just took this picture, will you post it right now? And if we're so structured, it's gonna throw off the whole thing. And we've had it happen, and you just have to go with the flow. So it's this needs to be posted. It's gonna throw off the grid. We're all gonna survive.
Yeah.
But what's nice, I do, if we can look at this one. This was my concept grid. Yeah. So for Cafe 21, this is conceptually how I think I made this revision back in April. We were doing something else for a while, and then I'm like, I'm going to redo it. So there's a kind of a testimonial, a review. We love using that. That's another thing I'll sneak in real quick, because why not? This is a really good tip for you guys. And I don't know if it's in here, but you can make a document with all your best reviews from Yelp, from Google, from Facebook. And our team member, Katie, who's not on the video right now, she is really good at this. She loves to do this. This is one of her onboarding things. Every time we get a new client, I'm like, go find the reviews. And she gathers all the reviews, all the 5-star reviews. and finds the quotes and testimonials that like she thinks are kind of more poppy and more marketable, and then we will highlight the pieces that would be fun to put in a graphic, for example, in an ad or an ad text or in an image. So this is fun. So we have pages of testimonials to pick from depending on what we're doing. So for here, you know, they're not in a crazy perfect order. One's here and one's here. You know, I am mindful that if we have a client where there is a lot of like natural elements like this one, like I picked the brand colors that are in their logo on their website to be the background. And I know you can't read it on here, but when they're on Instagram, you can actually read them. They look good. And if we have a client where we are interspersing black and white, like with Gloucester, like, you know, it's not every photo, but it's worked in enough where it's part of the theme, but it's not like overtly crazy where, again, an ad hoc post comes in, it's going to throw everything off. So I do like it to look good. If it's natural, it could have natural colors. If it's bright pinks and yellows and blues, and let it be bright pinks and yellows and blues. So we have so many. I would love for you guys to get in touch too. If you want to see more examples of this, creating these little concept boards is one of my favorite things to do, and my whole team, actually, we all like doing it, and we have some really fun examples for different clients or dream clients.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll make one for someone who will never be our client, but it's fun to do anyway.
Yep.
So get in touch if you want to see some more of those, because they're really fun to post. But yeah, I mean, I guess to answer your question, I don't really have any tips other than take your time. I do this when I'm in a creative mind, and I put a bunch of different pictures in here and I move them around until I like it and it feels good to me and it looks good. And then I go, okay, I think this is how we're going to try to do it. I don't really do anything fancier than that, but I think that's a really good question. And I know there are some people that probably do have better, fancier ways. And if you have anything to add, feel free.
I would just say, you know, one example is if you have, like, look at this one, we've got 2 photos here with people in them.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's a huge one. Yes,
right. We wouldn't want to post them right next to each other. We also wouldn't want to post them stacked on top of each other. Yeah. We would probably want to do it diagonal, like if there's every other post.
2 drinks in a row, and that's where the rotating too helps.
Yeah.
But again, you guys, it's not the end of the world. Like, it does happen, but you can have your own kind of goals and your own benchmarks, and you aim for those things. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, you can move on and know you did your best. You know, and that's kind of the way we do it.
Totally.
We do the absolute best we can, and that's all we can do.
Yep.
And then you got to move on.
Love that.
So our tool of choice, again, not here to promote it per se, no affiliation, but I've been using it for years and years. It's called Schedugram, and they were one of the only ones that actually allowed you to schedule your posts out. And they will go out for you. So before Instagram opened up the API, they had a little loophole, and the post would actually schedule without you having to do anything. So I've been using that tool for maybe 5 years now, and I love it. So you can upload like I said, you have your pictures here. You can write all your content in a document if you want. Here, it's this one. You start writing your posts and what they're going to be, and start putting your content in, and then you can move it over to Schedugram or whatever schedule you like. There's Planoly, there's Hootsuite now. I mean, they pretty much all can do it now, I think. So put it in whatever scheduler you like, and you schedule them out, and boy, does that feel good to be done with your Instagram for the month. And it opens you up to relax and let the other random things come in. Maybe you can do some stories because now you're not worried about your posts. Maybe some of the best posts do come sort of on a whim, and at least you know you've covered your whole month. And if some post comes on a whim, great, post it. But you've covered yourself. It's very organized. It feels good, and you can use your brain now for other things in your business that you want to do. So that's a very high level look at the way that we do a sample Instagram month of content. If you have any questions, definitely get in touch with us. You can leave a comment on this thread. You can send us a direct message, and we'd love to talk to you more about your Instagram posting questions.
Yeah.
So, thanks for joining us.
Bye.